I just wanted to come on here and say I'm sorry. I voted for him and I thought he was going to make things better for folks like us.
I voted for Trump and I regret it. Why do I still have access to an education? Why do I still have the right to vote? Why can I go out and become the CEO of a major corporation if I choose to do so? Why can I, as an American woman, still do anything I want, even though Trump is the president? Trump being president is really stressing me out because I was told my rights were going to be taken away from me and the world would stop spinning. So why have both of those things not happened?
Do you regret your vote right now?
Well, between him and her, I thought he was the better choice, but honestly, I miss my Uncle Joe. I was a nobody and I was balling then. Now, I couldn't even tell you, I couldn't even show you $5 in my pocket.
We spoke to Trump voters here in Florida who are ticked off about the fact that the gas prices in the state have gone up by an average of about 60 cents within just a week.
I would just wish he'd keep up on his campaign promise and say he was going to put it under $3. He'd end that war so fast. But here it is, 5 years later, helping his buddy out get his more money. And then never mind charging us Americans all sorts of money for fuel that you just stole from Venezuela.
And those gas prices are getting higher because of volatile oil prices due to the war in Iran, a war that these Trump voters tell us they hope wraps up quickly.
If I could, speak to the president, I just encourage him to finish up this war and get us back to a safe world.
He's saying about for our safety, leave somebody alone, they won't bother you.
Hopefully this conflict over there will end, it's just unfortunate.
The overall vibe here at the gas pump amongst these Trump voters is they feel like the economy is not going well right now.
At the moment, I'm really out of work.
My hope is that it's temporary and it doesn't last for too long. The oil prices come back down. That's my hope.
Florida MAGA voters are getting their wake-up call as Trump's policies hits them hard. This video here today, we are going to look into different aspects of MAGA voters who desperately regret casting their votes for Donald J. Trump. Kindly stay with me till the end, and if it's your first time here, I am Marvin, and please and kindly, please do hit the subscribe icon below for more MAGA updates, Trump news, black, brown, and minority groups in America. Watch this short coverage till the end, and at the end, I'll have more strong commentary. With the first video we have just watched, you can clearly get to see and understand how these circumstances come into place. Gas prices are rising, health insurance prices are rising, and Trump is taking away EBT cards and the SNAP benefits. And remember, the midterm elections are around the corner. Which leader will you choose for? Is it from the Republican side or the Democrat side? And sources are saying that Democrats have a higher percentage of winning the midterm elections as opposed to Republicans. Choose the right side so that you can be at peace and not regretting casting your votes. Let's watch the following videos.
Florida is now experiencing a complete collapse. Over the next 3 years, you will see housing prices on the East Coast and the West Coast and the south of Florida drop 30 to 40% over the next 3 years. It's that dire in Florida. And what's causing it all? People are moving out. People simply can't afford to live in Florida. And many people can't afford to fix their homes from the latest storms. It's only going to get worse. If you have property to sell in Florida, you better hurry. You better aggressively get it done. Because over the next 3 years, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. It's going to make the 2008 crash look like a picnic. So what is going on right now? You're seeing mass exodus of people. People leaving Florida in droves because it's simply not affordable. Insurance is too high. HOA is too high. Everything is too high. And even with the prices coming down, it's not going to matter. Nothing is going to save Florida at this point except for a 30 to 40% drop because it's just too expensive to live there. And the economics aren't there.
Today's the day. I can no longer consider myself MAGA. Praying for Donald Trump, wish him the best, not voting Democrat, and I know everyone's going to be like, oh, like you're a traitor, come up with some sort of nickname. They're going to cancel me, unfollow me. I don't care. What I care about is following Jesus and following the convictions that God has given me. And for Donald Trump to endorse Lindsey Graham and to have a lack of accountability in the corrupt Democrat Party, no arrest whatsoever, and the whole Jeff Epstein thing and the war, the airstrikes from Iran a year ago, the current war, although it's not a war now, stealing the oil from Venezuela, Cuba next. And it's like, dude, it's like all of this stuff. It's just like, dude, this is not even what I stand for. And that's okay. There's going to be a Republican come around that I agree with more than Donald Trump. But like today and the past several months, it has slowly gone down a road that I'm not willing to go. And moving forward, I'm just going to report the news from a unbiased opinion. I'm going to criticize Donald Trump when he does wrong. I'm going to applaud him when he does right. And I'm going to do the exact same thing with the Democrats. And I love Jesus. I love America. I want America to be great. And that's why I voted for Donald Trump. But unfortunately, the direction, if it continues to go down where they're going, it's not going to be great.
I hope y'all don't get mad at me for this, but I regret my vote. And I know what you're going to say. Well, you didn't regret it when he was making fun of the disabled community. You didn't regret it when he was threatening the people of color and the Black community. You didn't regret it when he was increasing hate crimes against the LGBTQI community. Or you didn't regret it when he was changing the narrative of who literally started a war. Or you're going to say, I didn't regret it when he increased hate crimes in both of his terms, or his ignorance during COVID that cost us thousands and thousands of lives. Or I didn't regret it when he bends over for Israel and Russia. Or I should have said something when there's literally a recording of him bragging about essaying women. Or I could have caught a clue maybe during the felonies, or the way he speaks about his daughter, or maybe just the way he talks about people in general. Like the way he talks about Democrats, that should have gave me a clue how he was going to treat people in general that did not bend over for him. But alas, I must admit, it wasn't until it finally hit that it could be my children that go to war that I decided I regretted my vote.
Today's a day that I'm feeling a lot of remorse for having supported Trump and MAGA. Let me preface by saying that I am not making this video to elicit any sympathy or any pity from anyone, but it's just, it's one of these days that it's a stark reminder to me about the remorse, regret, and some of the guilt that I feel over having supported Trump and MAGA, not just as a mere voter, but someone who was an activist, who was a pundit, who worked on the Trump campaign, who donated to the Trump campaign, someone who was an unapologetic and public Trump and MAGA supporter as I was. And as the president threatens war crimes and probably nuclear war, it's just a reminder for me that I made a mistake, and I would ask all of you out there who right now have MAGA friends and relatives, I think a lot of them are starting to feel some regret. I think a lot of them are starting to privately and quietly have their own doubts, their own confusion, maybe questioning their beliefs. Maybe they're feeling a little bit guilt themselves about having supported Trump. It's just, today's the kind of day that, it makes me think that I once supported the Republican Party, and perhaps it's cynical of me to say this, but the Republican Party will not do anything to Trump. Trump knows that. When I was in MAGA, it was a fantasy of ours to kill off the GOP and remake it and transform it into a MAGA party. And I think if it means holding on the power, the Republican Party would let the country burn down to the ground and rule over its ashes. And I don't think that would be too steep a price to pay in the minds of the Republican Party. So reach out to your MAGA friends and family today. See how they're feeling. Ask them if they're having any doubts. Are they questioning what they're seeing? I believe many in MAGA, if not most, know that something is amiss in the country right now.
If you feel hopeless right now, I'm here to say some Trump supporters are actually regretting their votes. Estimates as high as 1 in 4 people who voted for Trump regret their votes. And on anonymous forums like Reddit, people have poured out their feelings about how much they regret voting for him. People like farmers who have been upset that they're not getting support and money is going to Argentina instead of them. Young voters who feel manipulated by the MAGA movement. and centrists who aren't necessarily committed to a political party have all expressed serious remorse over their vote. The fact that people are admitting that they're not happy with the election and the way things have been with Trump is a serious step in the right direction. As you know, in most cults, people who speak out against the leader are seriously punished. They're ostracized and experience a lot of hostility, which typically prevents them from speaking out in the first place. So although it may feel hopeless and like fascism has been descending upon us for a few years, there actually is a sign of some progress. That's why it's so important to have conversations with these people. If you're a white person and you have family who are Trump supporters, this is a really good time to try to get through to them, especially because a lot of Republicans want the Epstein files to be released, which could be used as a way to find common ground with them and convince them to not be MAGA anymore. Still have a long way to go, but the fact that his approval rating is dropping is a serious sign of good news.
I voted for him, yes, but the quicker that you people welcome ex-MAGAs like myself, the more that MAGA is going to be willing to leave. The fact that you guys throw so much hate at ex-MAGA truly makes us not want to leave the cult. I have seen at least 3 or 4 videos like that in my FYP the last freaking hour. And to me, it's ridiculous because if you want to leave a cult, if you want to leave anything, you're doing it for yourself and nobody else. You don't need somebody to welcome you. Plus, leaving the cult and unlearning the things that made you think it was okay to be in the cult and support the person that you were supporting are 2 totally different things. Yeah, you can leave because you didn't like that AI picture he posted, or because you don't like the way he's acting right now, or you can leave because you know that he's racist, he's a pedophile, he's all these things, and you don't agree with them. But you could have left the cult and still support all those things elsewhere. You have not done the work to unlearn what it is that made you think it was okay for him to be president and to act this way in the first place. So please miss me with the, oh, you gotta welcome ex-MAGA. No, nobody has to do anything. What you have to do if you truly want to make a change is change yourself and talk to those around you who also think the way you do. And explain to them why they're also wrong. Maybe they'll listen to you.
Up to now, what do you have to say about this episode? In these videos, we have seen white Americans clearly showcasing the world that they regret voting in for Donald J. Trump. But I keep on telling you, they voted in for Trump so that they can punish black Americans. Have you ever seen a black person, a black immigrant, the black Americans, complaining about the rising cost of life in America? It is only white Americans. This video here today, we are not attacking MAGA people. It is only a video to showcase how Florida MAGA voters regret casting their votes for Donald J. Trump as harsh policies hit them hard. If you are not a robot or an alien, please do hit the subscribe icon below and I'll continue championing for the rest of black Americans in a white supremacist world. I'll keep on updating you on how Trump voters are living, and on the next episode I'll showcase to you how MAGA want forgiveness. They want black Americans to forgive them. They were warned, but they didn't listen. It fell on deaf ears. Trump is there to make himself rich and make his dynasty even more powerful. He doesn't care about Americans, and this is a fact you people need to know. MAGA voters are realizing that Kamala Harris was right. Trump policies and ideologies will always be against Americans regardless of your race or identity. As long as you are in America, these policies will hit you hard. And for the longest time possible, white Americans always choose white supremacists so that they can be against black Americans. But in this case today, have you seen a black person complaining here? It is only white Americans. It was a warning, but they didn't listen. Now they are in the FAFO stage. Let them embrace what they voted in for. It was a nice session engaging with you. Share a response in the comment section below. Let others know your opinion. Let others know what you think. And if you are a resident in Florida, what's the current situation over there? Are prices of gas high? Are prices of oil high? Let us know and how this impacts you in your day-to-day activities. Thank you for watching, family, and goodbye.